Hey guys, welcome back to the BuzWeaver channel. Now, before we get into our lead story, let's take a moment and listen to Barack Hussein Obama, the formerly approved establishment-appointed president, what he has to say.
Normally, you don't raise taxes in a recession. You don't raise taxes in a recession. The last thing you want to do is to raise taxes in the middle of a recession.
That's right. So Barack Hussein Obama said, you do not want to raise taxes during a recession. And here we have it from CNBC. Of course, we already know that Biden has already raised taxes during our inflation and into a recession. Reconciliation bill includes nearly $80 billion for IRS, including enforcement audits, what that means for taxpayers. Now, this is CNBC, so when they say what this means for taxpayers, they mean how can we dial this down and reformulate what is actually happening, which is attacking the middle class and the poor, actually. So, Senate Democrats on Sunday passed their climate, health, and tax package, what a wonderful name, including nearly $80 billion in funding for the IRS. You see, that was really kind of more of the goal there. So they want to hide it with climate and health and tax packages. Now, I do agree with some of the health features that's in it. Part of President Joe Biden's agenda, the Inflation Reduction Act allocates $79.6 billion to the agency over the next 10 years. More than half of the money is meant for enforcement, with the IRS aiming to collect more from corporate and high net worth tax dodgers. How about that? That's real fancy language for the fact that Democrats not only enjoy, take pleasure from, have a penchant for attacking their political enemies with the various authorities in our government, but they also use the IRS to attack people. And they use fancy and clever wording like climate and health tax packages, and they disguise it under the guise of going after the big wealthy people. Let me ask you something. I'm trying to think of Professor Solwell's statement there about why is it called greed if you want to keep your money? What is it called when you want to take someone's money? Now, I'm paraphrasing what he said, but it's a valid point. I mean, how do you define the fact that you are intentionally extracting money from people, of course, under the guise of you trying to help the environment, so forth and so on. So, sorry, guys. As I was saying, from the New York Post, Marjorie Taylor Greene Dem-led reconciliation bill will create new IRS force, or will just enforce it, make it more powerful than it already is. Of course, they can now extract more money from certain individual groups. Marjorie Taylor Greene is warning that the Democrat-led reconciliation bill, which passed the Senate over the weekend, will create a new IRS force of 87,000 tax agents who will be buying more guns and ammo. Now, what they're doing is very similar to, well, I guess I'm just going to equate it to the shortages that we're experiencing now, because as you know, we have an establishment that wanted to put in Joe Biden so that they could get their money back, because for the last 4 years, or during the 4 years of the Trump presidency, his administration held back the establishment so that our country could prosper. Well, now, in the last several years, or the 2 years that President Biden has been president, the establishment is trying to make its money back, and now this is another opportunity for them to utilize and leverage another of their favorite agencies, the IRS, the Internal Revenue Service, for our foreign viewers who may not know. And we have here Marjorie Taylor Greene. Well, so what I was trying to say there is they artificially create things. In other words, they'll buy ammo and guns to create artificial shortages, which is what you guys, or what we are here in the States experiencing, shortages. So this is something very indicative to that shortage. So here's a perfect illustration of someone, or me, showing you what they mean when we say shortages, what the intentional mean or methods of how they're arriving at these shortages. For example, in California, they were going to try to increase emissions on trucks and these sort of things, which of course is going to affect their ability to transport, along with all the COVID stuff, and then having to be vaxxed, double jabbed, of course, which couldn't be enforced, as Jen Psaki said. These were all fear tactics and maneuvers that Democrats like to use. 87,000 IRS agents will be hired with $80 billion taxpayer dollars with the Senate reconciliation bill passed this weekend. So now you know what the money's going to be used for. This health and climate and all this other stuff is just, pork. that they throw in there. Of course, there's all sorts of other things underneath the table that you may not be aware of that passed, particularly if Democrats know it can pass. And, of course, it was 50-50, and it was a tie break with Kamala Harris, who obviously breaks the tie when there is a tie in the Senate. And they're buying more guns and ammo, too, which is the shortage thing that, creating a sense of shortage so that people can't purchase additional weapons and ammo, which is interesting because, of course, gun control laws limit law-abiding citizens from being able to purchase guns and ammo. It doesn't affect the criminals at all. Low to middle-class Americans income or low to middle-income Americans and small businesses will be primary targets of Democrats' new IRS. Yeah, of course, and you heard about the fact that they were going to pursue banking transactions over, or what, around $600? so if you were having a yard sale somewhere, or you were selling maybe a vehicle like I did when I sold my Jetta, if you're selling something for more than $600, they want to know what you're doing in case they want to audit you later down the road. Now here's what's curious about our country, ladies and gentlemen. If you are a foreigner, or maybe it's been a while since you've had a civics course, the United States government was designed to do three things. Three things. One, two, three. Three things. It was designed to create law, enforce law, and protect the government, or protect the country from enemies, foreign and domestic. Now, what I'm going to do as I preamble here is show you all of the various agencies that have been created over the many years, 2.5 centuries nearly, of our country's existence. I know I'm going kind of fast here, but the point is, don't you find it fascinating that when our founding fathers created our government, it was supposed to just do three things. Three things. Look at all these agencies and all the subheadings of the agencies all across our country. And this is all tax funded. And I saw an article, or I saw a little chyron or a statistic from Fox News a little while ago showing all of the employees of all the agencies in the United States and how we employ, thousands upon thousands of people in our agencies. Some of the numbers were like 50, 30, 80. The CIA was, I think, 60,000. Just tons and tons and tons of people. And these are all tax-paid individuals. And, of course, then we have our military, which makes sense, right? Because it's one of the three things that our government was designed to do. So I just find it kind of fascinating now that we have this new reconciliation bill, which includes $80 billion for IRS, which is just another department within government that the Democrats like to use to persecute their political enemies, those they feel haven't paid their fair share, whatever the hell that's supposed to mean, because we go back to Sowell's statement of why is it called greed? If you want to keep your money, then what's it called when you want to take someone's money? And that's what I have for you guys today. Thank you so much, all of you guys on New Tech, and, of course, you guys here on YouTube for your continued support. That'll be the channel icon appearing right there on the screen where you guys can click on that to subscribe and then select notifications so you'll know when there's content here on the channel. And I will see you guys in the next video.